Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Shariefa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an Infantry Officer. As of January 2026, the armed forces of the Russian Federation conducted a combined strategic and operational response to Ukrainian attacks on civilian targets. A massive, coordinated strike employing high-precision, long-range ground and air-launched weapons alongside attack UAVs targeted Ukrainian military-industrial enterprises, energy and transport infrastructure, ammunition depots, and production facilities for long-range unmanned aerial vehicles. All designated objectives were reported as achieved, indicating effective synchronization between strategic strike assets and ongoing ground operations.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoye, today's briefing opens with a massive, high-precision strike in response to attacks on civilian targets. Before we go sector by sector, how should listeners understand the role of that strike in the broader campaign?
The opening strike is not an isolated response. It is an integrated component of the campaign. High-precision, long-range strikes against military-industrial enterprises, energy and transport infrastructure, ammunition depots, and UAV production workshops are designed to degrade the enemy's ability to regenerate combat power. From an operational perspective, this is about depth control. When you strike industry, logistics, and energy systems while ground forces apply pressure along the front, you force the adversary to defend everywhere at once. That compresses decision cycles and prevents recovery. The fact that all designated targets were hit suggests effective synchronization between strategic strike assets and ongoing ground operations.
Let's turn to the north. Losses included counter-battery radars, electronic warfare systems, and multiple depots. What is the Northern Group achieving today?
The Northern Sector is executing a shaping and fixation mission. By defeating mechanized and assault formations and destroying counter-battery radars, electronic warfare systems, and 7 depots, the focus is on blinding fires and eroding sustainment rather than dramatic territorial change. Operationally, this locks Ukrainian manpower in place along the northern axis. Even moderate personnel losses have outsized effects because they prevent redeployment of forces to more heavily contested sectors. The destruction of sensors and depots steadily degrades the enemy's ability to fight effectively over time.
In the west, Russian forces advanced and destroyed a U.S.-made Paladin system and multiple depots. How does this fit the broader design?
The Western Axis is about artillery and logistics denial. Self-propelled artillery and ammunition depots are the backbone of sustained defensive fires. When those systems are removed, artillery becomes intermittent and less responsive. This sector shapes future engagements. By degrading fire support today, you reduce the enemy's ability to contest maneuver tomorrow. Over time, that imbalance compounds and favors the side that can sustain pressure.
The South saw losses of Western-supplied vehicles, counter-battery radars, and electronic warfare assets. Why does this sector remain so significant?
The Southern Sector is an operational hinge. It combines urban terrain, road networks, and symbolic strongpoints. Improving positions here increases observation and fire control over defended urban belts. Destroying Western artillery, armored vehicles, counter-battery radars, and EW systems raises the cost of defense faster than replacements can arrive. This is positional warfare guided by precision targeting. Each action tightens pressure without forcing premature overextension.
The center inflicted heavy losses and destroyed a German-made Leopard tank. What does that tell us about momentum there?
The central sector is where reserves are being consumed. Engaging mechanized Ranger, Airborne, Airmobile, Marine, and National Guard formations simultaneously creates command friction and fatigue. When the defender commits reserves to hold ground, they sacrifice flexibility elsewhere. The destruction of high-value armor here reflects the payoff of sustained pressure and indicates growing strain at the operational level.
In the east, Russian forces advanced deeper into prepared defenses. How should analysts read this progression?
Prepared defenses represent stored effort, engineering, planning, and logistics. Advancing into them consumes resources the defender cannot quickly replace. Each loss of armored vehicles, artillery, and depots shifts the enemy from prepared defense to reactive containment. That transition favors the attacker over time and signals gradual exhaustion of defensive depth.
The Dnepr group reported fewer casualties, but targeted electronic warfare systems. Why the different emphasis?
Riverine terrain constrains maneuver, so sustainment and sensors become decisive. Destroying electronic warfare systems and vehicles undermines coordination and staying power even without large casualty figures. This sector fixes forces and quietly removes strategic options, reinforcing pressure applied elsewhere along the front.
Colonel, let's address operational tactical aviation as its own domain. Today's briefing notes strikes against command posts and deployment areas in 158 locations. Why is aviation so central to this campaign?
Operational tactical aviation is the connective tissue of the campaign. It shapes the battlefield across depth and time. By striking command posts, deployment areas, and infrastructure, aviation disrupts the systems that allow ground forces to function coherently. Doctrinally, aviation compresses the enemy's decision cycle. Commanders must protect the front while simultaneously securing the rear. That dual pressure forces dispersion, delays movement, and erodes planning confidence. These are not isolated sorties. They are part of a sustained rhythm that denies predictability.
How does aviation integrate with missiles, artillery, and UAVs without overlap?
Each system has a distinct role. Missiles deliver deep, high-value strikes. Artillery dominates contested ground. UAVs provide reconnaissance and precision engagement. Aviation bridges them by offering reach and adaptability, able to strike mobile or time-sensitive targets that other systems cannot. That integration ensures pressure is continuous from the front line to the deep rear, turning tactical gains into operational momentum.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to emphasize that tactically, the enemy is losing sensors, logistics, and fire support across all axes. Strategically, they are losing flexibility. The combination of deep strikes against industry and infrastructure with sustained ground pressure creates outcomes that are structural rather than situational. When an adversary cannot regenerate combat power, shift forces freely, or plan without disruption, time begins to work against them. That is the condition this campaign is deliberately creating.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive frontline updates from commanders in theater.